Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's coverage. Third season of the NASCAR Class C Maconi Fixed Series. This evening, we're excited to bring you top split action for the weekly strength of field race, the virtual Dover Motor Speedway in Dover, Delaware. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing for the top split of this said series, as well as for the Road to Pro Series campaign, as well as Fast Fridays. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name's Justin Prince, and lots of the move for tonight is Shane Mundy. Dylan Rampos working the controls as our producer. The camera's provided by the great Dougie Beard. Shane, tonight, we're at Dover. It's steeply banked. It's extremely fast. It's very concrete. But the drivers, in turn, are going to be very much at the edge of their seat. There's not much room for error. What are the expectations in turn for this tough one tonight?
Oh my goodness, tires is what you're really gonna need to take care of here tonight. It's only Wednesday, but that has been the topic of conversation all week, as is pretty typical for Dover. Like you said, it's banked all the way around this racetrack, even on the straightaways. Only 9 degrees of banking on the straightaways, but if there's a crash on either straightaway, but especially in the corners, they call it the self-cleaning racetrack. That's what you'll see, but above all, take care of your tires and make sure you're there at the end of this.
We'll see how the drivers perform as the night progresses here tonight, but how have things gone coming into tonight and in the season as a whole? One thing to consider is Jacob Snyder and Justin Patello have been amongst your top drivers in the points for the past couple weeks now, including throughout the week so far, Shane. Dakota Lawn has also showed solid speed here in the past, but a lot of drivers needing to gain points. Right now, your top 10, with the drops starting to get factored in pretty soon, are separated by just 300 points on the schedule.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten tighter. It's the battle for the points lead spread out a little bit, especially after that Talladega race that we had on Monday night. Jabo had a bit of a rough going compared to how Schneider performed, and Schneider's gapped him a little bit, but still less than 100 points ahead. And we know the iRacing point system, it's not quite like real life where it's based off position. You can earn a decent amount of points per race, especially if you win it. So Dakota Long there in third, not just a little over 100 back from the points leader, Jacob Schneider. So I mean, it's really anybody's game still. We're just past halfway in this season, so anybody's championship for the taking.
We are approaching that midway portion, if not just around that past point. With how the season's been flying on by here, keep in mind as well, remember, when it comes to this rotation of series, you have a couple drops, if not 3, depending on the rotations of official series to consider. And when it comes to a strength of field race, for those who have not seen these actions of races yet, essentially that means your highest strength of field when it comes to your average I rating. That average is 4,069 tonight. These drivers looking to have a fun time in a cloudy Dover, Delaware in the next few moments. But you know how critical track position is going to be tonight? For the first time really all season, Shane, every single driver just put in a qualifying time. That is rare for this spot.
Oh yeah, you do not see that at a lot of places that we go to in iRacing. I mean, most guys like the challenge. You'll see some guys skip qualifying altogether just to kind of challenge themselves and start from the rear. But yeah, 24 entries in this race, in the split. All 24 made a qualifying time. And the fastest lap, pretty close battle for the pole there as well.
Let's take a look at that pole time, in fact, and your starting grid for tonight. 7 1/1000ths the difference between your pole sitter for tonight, Dakota Lawn, and your winner on the iRacing broadcast on Wednesday from Talladega, Jonathan Evans. Garrett Pitt, keep an eye on him. He's shown good speed in many official races this season. He starts third. He'll start alongside Jalen Handcamp. Cody Kelleher starts off with the top 5. Ricky Howell Jr. looks to try and see if he finds friends from Whoville tonight. Trey Gowden starts from 7th. Well, it's Hayden Strickland in the 8th position. Your top 10 closes out with Chase Stewart and Andrew Lutz Jr., one of the Maconi setup shop back drivers, starting off midfield. As we get ready for the rest of your running order here tonight, amongst some of the other notables, since you look at the rest of your screen for tonight, James C. Wright. He's known for being a short track racer on the platform. Daniel Day, a streamer. He also works with Nexus Esports, one of the teams running for RTP this year. Jeff Maconi's amongst the top 10 in overall points currently. He starts 14th. Justin Again and David Snook have showed good speed, including Snook in the top 5 in points for parts of the season. They're in that following row. And towards the back of note, your one truck for this split, John Forbes Jr., did not get a good qualifying time, Shane. 3/10 off the pole. The difference between top of the board to the bottom of the board, 7/10 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened there with the 17 truck. Must have just only had one lap that got in, probably, and must have had an incident point on one lap. And definitely going to have their work cut out for them. Starting all the way from the back. We just talked about how important track position is going to be here. But that front row, Jonathan Evans, like you said, he's top 5 in points. And no Jacob Schneider or Jabo in this race, I don't believe. So it could be a big night for him here.
We'll see how tonight plays out in turn. Expecting to quick position for the initial start here. Your keys to win.
Goodness. Man, it's such a tough racetrack. I love this place. It's just so much fun. You're out of control all the time. Car control is going to be a big factor. Not just, we talked about tires, but keeping your car straight, especially on the exit of these corners. The back end just wants to come out on you all the time. We caught a little bit of the end of that last race where pit strategy even played a factor. It's just, goodness, I don't even know what it's going to take to win this thing. It's going to be a great show, though, and here we go.
50 laps up on the board here for the Monster Mile. We're underway with tire spin. Hold on, we're 3 wide already. And just like that, Dakota Lawn with a poor start already, trying to fight just to hold on to second.
That is not the kind of start he was hoping for. Oh, they are really tight up on that top lane going down to turn 3 here.
Evans was able to take the lead. No black flag since that was after the green flag dropped on the initial start. But most of the field looking to get gathered up and in. Now of note, the prior split to this from 6:15 p.m.'s top split had 40 lap runs before the caution started to play out. Do we see that hit for the S.O.F race where we go trend green? Or do cautions bring cautions in a race like this?
Man, it's hard to say. It's such a unpredictable game. Every race you're going to run on iRacing is going to be different from the last. So, like I said, you just kind of have to have strategy for every possible situation tucked into the back of your mind. Dakota Long is working over the back bumper of our second place runner, Garrett Pick, in that second spot, the number 8 truck. Looks like Garrett's able to gap him a little bit here going into 1 this time.
Keep in mind as well, you've seen some of the side-by-side of the heart of the top 10 as well. That's Lutz Jr., another one of those Maconi setup shop back machines. Currently getting boxed in by Ricky Howell Jr. He's trying to block the 2 lanes, Peyton Strickland. And one of the big things, Bobble out of turn 4, 3 wide from set bubble. James C. Wright had to back out of it in the teal truck.
That's like I said, car control is so important here, and we almost saw a few guys pay the price for not controlling their trucks there as they come out turn 4. That 81 truck, that could have been a lot worse. They sorted out though, and so far still green, all clean so far.
And one of the major talking points throughout the week, mind you, keep care of your right front tire.
Oh, there we go.
Make sure you don't do that. Huge slide, but a massive save.
Oh my
Lutz
goodness,
Jr.
how did he save that?
Trouble back straight away though. No caution as Jason Odom slammed into the wall in the checkup effect. We stay green as the rest of the field races down the front.
Oh man, I cannot believe that save from the 81 truck. I believe it was on the backstretch there. Oh, and there
here we go. More sliding, and this one took the caution, and it collects everybody in the back. Scott Sullivan, Chase Stewart. Everybody gets themselves cleaned out by the racetrack as Miles claims its first 510 truck to the race.
Oh, goodness. all kinds of damage to the front. I don't even know what number that red truck is. I can't tell from the, he's missing his nose, so let's see what happened here. Daniel Day is the red truck missing the nose. I believe that's him. Yeah, right, oh, heavy impact.
And right across the track, TikToker Jeff Byers getting collected into the contact there.
Jeff Maconi.
He said he got pushed into it. I think it fell into his lap instead.
Oh, man, that was a heck of a shot he took you there. Oh, the 81. He's had an eventful one here so far, hasn't he?
Pit stops already. One of the main trends today with the right front tire expected to burn out fast. Expecting 4 tire pit stops just about every chance possible. Although, there are just 2 tire sets in the pit lane tonight. You have to choose wisely in case we get a long run from here now when you use the next set.
And Justin, we also had 5 trucks elect to stay out there, I believe, maybe 6 even. I believe it's 5, I'm not entirely sure.
Can't confirm it's 6, but one of them is below motor, Jeff Maconi.
Gotcha.
But everybody, as expected, just took 4 tires. Evans, Pick, Kelleher was the race off pit road. Damage repair for about half the field, this caution flag. Let's take a look one more time. The big one strikes. Miles is pleased.
The 2 truck there, Daniel Day just got sent down into the inside wall, and to no fault of his own, after he hit the inside wall, he just ricocheted back into traffic, and there's not a lot of room for all these guys to miss that wreck. So, like we talked about it at the start of the show, self-cleaning track, and that was a prime example of it right there.
There's not a lot of time for a lot of people to respond. We mentioned Cody getting pushed on through. This is from the back side.
Oh, this is, I believe this is 81 truck.
Yeah, just all you can do is press the brake rather, and stop it. Of note, Dakota Lawn picked up a speeding penalty at this caution flag period. And with this situation, John Forbes, massive gamble, hoping for no tire spin as he goes from 19th to 1st with the caution.
He's got some blockers there for him, but will they all make it through the restart zone clean? I mean, sometimes they might not even make it back to the finish line. That was only about a 6, maybe 7 lap run to start our race. So we're about to find out just how important such a short amount of laps on these guys' tires is.
2 drivers out for substantial time for the time being at least. Daniel Day from Nexus Esports and the Twitch streamer Jeff Maconi. He's top 10 in points coming in. You will have to watch from the box. John Forbes in control for the restart zone. Coming out of turn 4. Kyle Bartles outside. That is a poor top line launch. It's 3-1 already for the battle for 3rd.
Like, that is just, like I said, we don't know if they're all going to make it on that restart zone. Luckily for Jonathan Forbes, though, he's cruising away.
Right now, with all the people on fresher tires getting held up, is helping a bit. How long does that stay? That's Pick right now providing some pressure. This traffic being utilized as picks all over the field. You can really argue. Bartles and Howell Jr. side by side, and a huge block on Headcamp. Headcamp turns Howell Jr. A save for the 23, and they start spinning in the back. No caution, we stay green.
Everybody's gathered it up, so we're going to stay green here. And of note, that 4 truck, Cody Keller, he has made it up to 3rd. He is the first truck on new tires.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting situation in the next couple moments or so for Kelleher. Already, Kelleher up to 3rd, Pick to 4th spot. As you talked about, those drivers already with the traffic are running dead even on times. Without the traffic to deal with, they picked up 2 tenths on the leaders.
Oh, yeah. That was a great lap right there out of the 4 truck of Cody Keller. He's ran 22:47. Our race leader, John Forbes, 22:62.
Things are getting tied up at the very front of the field. You see that second grouping of drivers starting to form. That's where Seawent and a few more have formed. Of note, meatball flag, Jonathan Evans. The 3 truck has to come in to serve to the pit lane. from that stack up that just happened. So last week's S.O.F race winner from Dega out, and a spin behind him. That's Lutz again. That is 2 times already Lutz has gotten loose, this time on his own, and this time he couldn't save it. Just stepped out. What do you think, Shane? Moment. Let's try this once again. Remember, he already had a lot of damage, so a lot of side force already gone off the side of the 13-in sim. That brings out a second caution of the race, and now it gets interesting on stretch, Shane, because from here, what do you do? It's pretty clear the leaders don't want to pit yet, but we're not even halfway, and you still have drivers with no sets taken to the field.
Well, after what we've seen so far, it's been a caution breed caution race so far. That was the longest run of the race, and I think it was just barely short of only 10 laps longer than our first run. Obviously, the race leader in John Forbes, he has not pit yet. That Ford truck that pit on that lap 6 caution, but it was lap 8 that he hit pit road. Oh man, if I'm the leader, I'm probably going to go ahead and hit pit road here. Just hope that I cycle back to a decent enough track position for when we go back green, that I don't have to fend off or don't have to fight too far up to the front, and that the fresh tires will pay off.
Now we're looking at the replay. This was a pretty substantial save. Ricky Howell Jr. got extremely defensive in the midst of offset. In fact, complete 3 wide. Ooh. He had to lock it up big in front of the whole field. And then they tried to wreck in the back, and that's what collected Evans.
Yeah, there were no breaks being cut there by anybody. I mean, he was definitely really aggressive. Honestly, kind of early in the going here. I mean, look, he's basically run him down to the apron. There was no more room down there.
A lot of quick hard on the brakes for Jeffrey Ramsdell and several more. That wasn't the trick for the caution flag in the end, but now as the field gets himself situated yet again, expecting the one to go pretty soon. Of note, no DNFs officially. Evans did fix the tie rod, so he is still at the very least in the race, but will lose substantial time on the racetrack. Maconi and Day are still 7 and 8 laps down respectively.
It shows how quickly things can change here at Dover. He was leading the show at one point, right off the rip, got clear to the lead, and now he's really behind the 8 ball.
Now, as we continue to pace along and get ourselves sorted for tonight's racing festivities, a reminder for those watching along, tonight's action brought to you part by iRacing. Relied on a steering tool by countless professional drivers, the sim is unrivaled as a, well, racing simulator, because its creators have managed to capture every last car and track detail and recreate them in a package perfectly encapsulating the feeling of being behind the wheel of a race car, pushing its mechanical limits on courses designed to test each driver's skill and mentalities. And the industry agrees. Visit iRacing.com to sign up and become a member today. Also of note, amongst those who run in the field tonight, and for any future broadcast, we like to remind all teams and drivers to please submit their paint scheme formats through the Maconi Entertainment Discord. To learn how to get there, go to Maconi Entertainment website to learn more. Just about set for the restart. Forbes, Hinton on the front row. Kelleher and Pick on fresher tires, though, in row 2. The gap had been completely evaporated before the caution flag. What are the keys now for this restart, knowing the fresh tires are already at the doorstep?
Well, not to any help of our front row, but this caution, their tires have gotten cooled down as well. So we saw the top lane spin them, and their tires weren't even that old yet. Our leader and the outside, just the whole front row, they have not pit at all yet. So honestly, I'm surprised they didn't pit there to go ahead and knock out that stop. I mean, we're about to find out, though.
Coming up to 21 laps to go, 31 should say at the stripe. The green flag waves this time, no tire spin on the front row. Tire spin though from the second.
My goodness, that is the opposite of what I would have expected to happen.
Gallagher lost the time. Garrett Pick already up to the third spot. Trouble behind them.
Wow.
Hard crash. 3 drivers hard to the fence. And 1 rolls it down the banking. Headcamp rolls it down. Dakota Long was in it indeed. And he was just coming back from that speeding penalty too.
Oh my goodness. And he's got the damage repair flag. The meatball flag is out for Dakota Long as well. He is all tore up. I mean, you can see the left front wheel if we
Upright for Dakota Long's case, though, at least here for the 6 truck in sim, was he literally called his shot, saying he'd drive back up to the front about 40 seconds before this on Twitch on the iRacing social media platforms. You can't plan for this, though.
Ran out of room again. Not a lot of. It's like you said. There's no room for error here, and these guys get really aggressive on these starts, especially when the top lane stacked a little bit. Both lanes had at least one truck not get going that good. The 23 is honestly laying back already, and he still didn't work for him.
3 wide is not pretty here. Long is in that blue truck that gets pinched up the track. Very lucky, to say the least. Handcamp didn't get hit.
To the viewers that aren't a member of iRacing or never done any sim racing or anything like that, that to the naked eye could look like it was intentional. I assure you guys, he did not mean to wipe him out in the corner like that. They just flat ran out of room. He probably didn't realize just how tight that gap was for on board with Ramsdale here.
24 truck have a couple close calls already. Why not another one for good measure?
He comes down. Oh my goodness. Close your eyes and pray.
Just got extremely lucky with the way the truck bounced for the 18.
Oh, no kidding.
But still, another caution. Expecting to be around the halfway point when we get back going amongst those. Getting significant repairs. Odom still in the pit lane. Byers. David Snook has no front hood. Lutz, Howell Jr., Handcamp, Evans, and Long.
I'm really interested to see, I mean, what are we going to do pit-wise here now? I mean, they are still staying out, and we're about 22 laps complete at the line this time. So they're kind of, do you think they're pushing their luck a little, Justin, or do you like this?
Honestly, I think if it keeps being caution, this might go the way of Forbes on the strat. Now, if there's a substantial run, that's a different story.
And you never know about a late caution either, so they would have to account for that. Honestly, I think for our front row here, Forbes and Hinton, I think it's just play along as it goes. Take what the race gives you and decide what you're going to do from there.
A reminder that tomorrow night here on iRacing social media platforms, we'll have coverage of the top split for the first round of the eNASCAR qualifying iRacing series, the Road to Pro ladder. It's here at Dover as well. That coverage starts 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where the top teams look to try and pick up points to be a part of the top 70 cutoff. To be a part of the second round, starting in the summer. And we already mentioned at least one of those team-affiliated drivers in here. In fact, 2 of them. Tonight's going to be interesting to see how much crosses over for the open setup side and for the top teams and drivers tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, they're just completely different games, but let's see. Well, we're gonna get the one to go here, so we're about to see how good of a restart this front row can get this time.
Still old tires. Forbes and Hinton on the front row, the 1 and 16. The 8 and 4, Pick and Kelher. James C. Wright is still inside the top 5. Isaiah Dupree's gone from 21st to 6th in his truck.
You got a great graphic in the bottom right of your screen there as well. Everyone's stint length, you see nobody except Forbes, Hinton, and don't want to botch that last name too much.
Dupree.
But Dupree there in the top 10. Everyone else has at least stopped for tires once.
Yeah, a lot of drivers on old rubber have already backed out of their strategy. Most are on the one stop.
Interesting to see how this might go for Keller here, because we saw him lose third there on that last restart.
Seen a lot of drivers struggle topside, it seems, here today on tire spin. We'll see how things go just prior to halfway. Forbes in control. Green flag is out, back underway. Much cleaner restart.
Almost all the way around there. It looks like everybody, for the most part, has gotten going on that restart. Great job by everybody.
But the battle's truly on for Pick. He's got fresh tires. Hinton's looking for the lead, but
crossover.
Pick, good poke.
That's going to be tight.
Just able to avoid contact, but that checks everything up. Pick seems faster, but Hinton is good on the defense so far as halfway. 25 laps to go.
Keller's still back there in 5th. Now Pick, he is the highest on tires, but he is, Hinton, like I said, playing great defense right now.
And now how long does... Yes, you're right. Pick's got the run. Looks like Hinton's given the space. Garrett Pick.
Should be it right here. He should not struggle with this one. Now Forbes is going to be looking in his mirror, and he's trying to pull away at the same time, but that's a tough task with that tire wear.
23 to go. Now it's the hope of strategy equalization if you're Forbes Jr. Hinton trying to play defense for third, but it's caution yet again. It's Scott Sullivan who gets turned around this time. This time it's across the nose of Andrew Lutz Jr. Yet again, cautions, read, cautions.
Now the question for Forbes is going to be, do you stop now? Because, you said if the cautions kept coming, that'd be where he makes the decision. But let's take a look at what brought this out. Goodness.
Touch bit of air distance, but regardless, 21 started coming down on the straightaway.
He just... that angle was, let's see. I'm not sure what that was about. I mean, surely he didn't think he was clear, but he sure came down like he thought. Like it looked like he was. Looked like he thought he was, sorry.
It was going to be a tight window regardless, but here's again.
He's got a run on the 22. I think he just hoped to split, kind of thread the needle there, and maybe a little bit of net mode as well.
Even if you count air, hurricanes, I don't know, dolphins, they were going to touch.
Oh yeah.
Eventually.
Oh yeah. No, you can't really put all the blame on connection on that one air or anything. He just tried to thread the needle, and he did not get like, oh my goodness, Ramsdale again.
That's the third dodge already from 24. It's got him to 14th, by the way.
I mean, survive it. Sometimes that's how you win them.
But we have had a mix on strategy. Most of the drivers in this time are a part of the repair group except for John Forbes. So the one comes in with 20 to go. And it looks like...
Let's consider the lottery. I mean, get in on those numbers. Hinton has still stayed out here, so I don't know about this move personally. He is going to restart on the outside again, and everybody that's going to surround him on this restart is on at least fresh-ish tires, at least by comparison.
Yeah, but still give credit to all this. Garrett Pick, by the way, with the timing of all this, is now the leader. And with the pit stop from the one truck, Hinton's been able to run just about the same pace despite the tire difference. He might be the one major benefactor of this strategy. Dupree, mind you, is still out there in old rubber, but in 7th, where he's been basically stationary the whole run.
Yeah, it's just... it's such a stressful place when it comes to strategy. Tire wear has never been my specialty, so I know that just watching this is making my brain hurt. I've never been good at that.
Well, on that note, if if you want to be able to learn about the racetracks, learn about setups, learn about, well, coaching, learn about very much things, go to MaconiSetupShop.com, the home for setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, event promotion, and more on iRacing. It's going to be available as low as $8 a month. Once again, Maconi Setup Shop is the official setup shop of eNASCAR and your series sponsor for NASCAR Class C Fixed Series competition with NASCAR Craftsman Trucks in 2024. Just about getting all prepared here for the restart, expecting 18 to go when we get back underway. And
it's
now,
an interesting lap to go green at. I mean, you know, or lap count remaining to go green at, because with the strategy that some of these guys are on, you want to talk mixed bag depending on the length of this next run until, you know, should we see another caution.
yeah, this is going to be a curious time. Don't be surprised if cautions breed cautions. Of note, David Snook, black flag from his pit road repairs. We're just about set for the restart, though. Once again, Garrett Pick. We've seen great speed from him all year. His 8 truck is in control for the restart. The Floridian going to be very difficult to pass now that he's got some clean space and some clean air to work with, possibly.
I'm telling you, the one I'm watching here, just a long shot in the dark, see right there in the 3rd position. That last run, I didn't really get a chance to mention him because there was so much going on. But he was making some impressive moves. He's on that same strategy as Pick, our leader. Could be interesting to see how good, if he gets a good start here, how aggressive he'll play it.
Coming up to the restart zone. And it looks like Pick is trying to keep the speeds a little bit lower. Field must maintain 45 miles an hour to the restart zone. See right, is all over the bumper. Green flag is out, an early launch.
And there he goes. Did not get the start that he had been getting.
That was with Hinton and D getting some tire spin. See right attacks him from the inside. Kelleher looking to follow suit.
Not much of a battle there. Seawright is clear to second.
Still looking to be a little bit darty in the back, though. You see some side-by-side building up. Dupree on the old tires. He's getting eaten up as well. Chase Stewart was involved in an incident earlier. Andrew Lutz, who still somehow has fenders on the truck, trying to work high side for the move. And contact. Dupree pushed down.
Gonna be tight. Oh man, what a move that was right there by that 81 truck. Oh, he's gonna slide up though.
Lutz
Jr. Great battle.
Yeah. With all the damage, despite being absolutely demolished here, Lutz is still maintaining solid enough pace to do something in the strat race.
But we pretty much hit every corner of that truck. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, 3 of them are not even in a straight angle anymore.
That's not gonna work.
3 wide behind him, not. Now back to 2. Jonathan Evans apologizing on the radio. Jeffrey Ramsdale yet again in the lottery.
My goodness. He's managing 16th right now, and he's the one that I believe had trouble on his qualifying lap. I think he started all the way at the back.
Yeah, and since then it's become a race of making sure the bubble wrap holds on the truck. Down to 13 to go. Starting to get very defensive behind Hinton right now because Kelleher is losing ground. Can't get the run yet on the older tires as they zip by a driver with damage. They look to battle it out side by side as well. Behind on the fresh tires, it's John Forbes making a move. That's for 8th.
And Hinton, Eli Hinton in that 3rd spot. I'm going to give him his flowers here. He is held up really well for as bad of a start as he got, and considering that he is on race-long tires that he has driven.
It's been an adventure for some today, but coming to 12 laps to go. Hinton, a very long time racer. It's been nearly a decade, give or take. I believe he was racing in rookies around the time I jumped in. It was 2013. That far. You know who's trying to jump to the bottom, though? A lot of these cars looking to take advantage on rubber. Lutz still can't get around this machine, though. High side of the red and green, it's Chase Stewart.
About 3rd as well.
Keep your head on the swivel here. Give it the monster mile after all. Things are getting very tight here. Of note, you mentioned third did change. Kelleher did finally get by Hinton. But can...
big dive bomb here into 3.
Oh,
3
that
wide.
3 wide indeed. Lots getting bounced around. That's Strickland to the inside. Outside line on the squeeze. It's Stewart. Short track racer, high side.
My
Fixed is in. Lutz forced to back it. Strickland boys his way through.
That was beautiful stuff by all 3 of those guys. That was just great racing all around. And Strickland's going to be the big beneficiary, but they're still not done there.
Coming up to the final stages of the race. 9 to go. Strickland knocks the wall down. They still keep racing 3 wide. Lutz bounces out the door. Yes, indeed. Evans makes it 3 wide. He's on pressure tires, too.
Forbes is up to 4th.
Yeah, everybody's having a hurricane and a whirlwind here. Second place is also up for grabs. Keep a corner eye on this, but second is side by side if it go to the 20 and the 4, because C. Wright and Kelleher are fighting aggressively up the road. Same still right now for Lutz, who's in the wall. Lutz gets pushed in the fence.
How these guys kept it clean this long.
This might be the position for a caution if it comes down to it. That's why I think we're still here, because they are going to do it.
And there we go.
No more lottery ticket for the 24. Ramsdale to the wall. No caution. We stay green. Spinner back straight away. The 4 of Cody Kelleher has just hit the wall, and he's been turned around too.
Oh, and they're going to just this same kind of a replay of that first wreck of the day.
And 2 major crashes. Caution flag is out. The trigger is Kelleher down the backstretch into turn 3. But really, it was a 27-man bandstand at a 24-truck race. Yeah, there's not enough instruments, if you're understanding the metaphor.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. I think he just might have came up as well. These guys just running out of room. Not a lot of room on this place. No room for air, like you mentioned at the start of the show. This is what put us under caution.
And that was your dead last start of the 17 getting into the back end after the loose moment. That was Ollie Fonseca. And
I'm not too sure what that was all about. It looked like the 4 might have ran him down pretty low.
No, the 4
he was already in trouble.
And then they stacked up, I think, behind him. What happened?
A little bit of a nudge.
Oh, C. Wright got bumping and running.
Yep.
And they checked up and stacked up.
Now here comes the... Oh, he got... The 17 was knocked down into him. That is unfortunate for both of those guys. That's just rotten luck.
Black flags all around for those with incident points. Lutz Jr. and Strickland. Kelleher meatball flags along with hand camp. And this sets up a wild finish. Again, C. Wright on the bumper. Watch the 20.
I hate this for Keller. He was really on the rebound.
I think that's what they call the bump and dump when it comes to the bump to the back and then the quarter panel like that.
Oh, yeah. And then the deal on the backstretch, I think everybody just kind of scattered to avoid Keller, and I think everybody had a different lane in mind where they wanted to go to miss him. And that's just going to cause contact amongst themselves. Tell you who does love this caution, though, is Forbes. He's up to second and running down our leader in pick, and now this is going to put him right at him.
Might just about steal it. Here's Drake Galgan. 22. A little bit of slow for you.
Might have a new lottery member there.
I think we already had the lottery hit today, and it already just went bust.
Yeah.
Approaching green-white checker territory, if we do get the green-white checker trigger on this, it will be our only attempt at a green-white checkered. The 615 did end under caution after a tire spin restart caused a big crash on the front straightaway. Again, the simple point is, get to the white flag, it's a race to the checkered. Tire strategy, this is your lottery. This is your guessing game, and 4s may just about get jackpot on the slot machine.
I really like the way that he spread that out as well. That is a long run on those tires at first, went over halfway, and look where it's got him. running it as long as he could.
Yeah, and now, fresh tires. If there's a long enough run for the restart, it could be clear cut for the one machine. Not going to be easy for Pick to defend.
Not at all.
Now, remember, 5th place in Strickland has to let go of that spot after the restart because of incident points. This series, 17 points is the mark before you have to start serving a drive-through penalty. Then it's 25 incident points. If you get to that mark, you're disqualified. But now, we are being told it is still in regulation, but only just. Natural green, white checkered. Garrett Pick is your leader. Garrett Pick pit 40 laps ago. Forbes Jr. second. C. Wright then again in your top 4. The fresh tires are in row 3, and Evans and Strickland. Strickland has to come in for a penalty. Then it's Lutz Jr. for a penalty. Handcamp, he'll start this in 8th. So in other words, have you got
Good
your
luck.
bubble wrap? Yeah, I think you said it better than I could have. I was about to say get the bubble wrap, but I think we ran out of bubble wrap about 5 cautions ago.
Yeah, and the stores are closed, so we can't go get any more. I think we're...
I mean, you can always find some at the hotel and casino, right, being in the backdrop.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they have some. These guys might need to go drown their sorrows there after this thing. I don't know.
How about a restart, though? It's Garrett Pick in control. Outside line, Forbes Jr. on the freshies. Down to 2 miles to go, and Pick knew he spins it. He's able to hold it, though. We get to the green. Can we get to the white?
If you're going to spin him, I think he did it the best way that he could because Forbes did not get a good start because he's back to 4th.
He's running out of time to make some moves now, but James C. Wright, he wants to make a charge. We get to the white flag. It's simply to the checker. Trouble, turn 4.
Might be close, though.
Forbes gets turned around.
made
We
it.
took the white. They wreck hard behind. Half the field, make it 3/4 of the field, wrecking on the front straightaway. Oh, wow, Garrett Pick runs down the back stretch. Strickland yet to serve the black flag. C. Wright is still in 3rd. But it's Garrett Pick who survives a wacky one to win at the Monster Mile in top split.
My goodness, he absolutely just played that restart. Maybe not intentionally perfect, but it sure worked. He spun his tires, and when he spun them, he came up to the top lane in front of the one truck, and well, it killed all his momentum.
And this is, yeah, James C. Wright.
Oh my goodness.
And then
I mean,
last lap, what's a brake pedal?
19 got spun around by a top. I'm not sure if he's done getting hit. Well, 24, yep. He was definitely ran out of luck there.
On the bright side for Garrett, he's the one who takes the checker flag. He is literally the only person in the field not to touch a wall or a truck. He's your only driver without incident points tonight here on iRacing and Maconi Entertainment. Post-race coverage coming up in a moment. You're watching tonight's action for the Maconi Fixed Series from Dover. The Polish victory lap for Garrett Pick.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's post-race coverage for the Maconi Fixed Series here on iRacing social media platforms and on Maconi Entertainment. Here from iRacing's virtual Dover Motor Speedway. It was a night where if you didn't wrap your truck in Kevlar, in bubble wrap, in armor, in anything protective, you likely got a 4X. Garrett Pick got the win tonight as being the only driver to remember that critical step of protecting your own truck. Trey Galkin finished in second. James Seawright finished third. Ricky Howell Jr. fourth with Scott Sullivan fifth. Dakota Lawn, well, he nearly called his shot even after wrecking and having to fix mandatory repairs. He finished in sixth. Justin again seventh. Fonseca in the top 8 from 24th. He started shotgun on the field. The TikToker Jeff Byers in 9th, and Kyle Bartles rounded out your top 10, Shane.
And Forbes there you see finishing 11th. We were talking about him before that final restart, that he was probably going to be the one to walk away with this thing thanks to that late caution, but I think it was actually his downfall. I think if we had stayed green, he might have been able to run down our eventual race winner.
Yes, indeed, and with that, Dupree, Hinton, Odom, Evans, Joy on the lead lap. Laps down included Strickland and Lutz with black flags. Ramsdale 18th. 2 laps down was Handicap in 19th. Same for Snook in 20th. What a fall from the top 2 in points, to being the points leader, in fact, before the short track swing. Chase Stewart, Cody Kelleher, and your rest of your field, Daniel Day. Your only official DNF in the field was Jeffrey Maconi. A huge hit. He was in 7th coming into tonight. That was a career best in those rankings. So on that note, Shane, I'll get your thoughts on things first of all. How would you talk about what we've seen tonight?
Well, I mean, that was pretty much as Dover as it gets, especially in the truck series. It was chaotic. It was entertaining. Tires was definitely as important as we expected them to be. But honestly, though, the race winner may not agree. Only pitted once and ended up leading 22 of our 50 laps to victory lane. Heartbreaker for Forbes, like I mentioned, led 20 laps and ended up not even in the top 10 because of all that just chaos on the late restart. But that's how guys have to play restarts here. You know, you have to be aggressive. Track position is so important. And before that caution came out that sent us to that green-white checkered, Garrett Pick was being ran down by Forbes, still ended up winning it because of that caution.
Well, next time out, too, we head to Kansas when it comes to this series, at least. Your thoughts on the mile and a half circuit for Kansas, real quickly. We are in that second half window. Drops start being applied in the next 2 weeks.
I can't wait to get to Kansas. That is such a fun racetrack, especially on this service. One of the few where you're going to see a ton of different lines being worked. You'll see guys on the bottom, the middle, the top. Everyone's got a preference there. It's a wonderful track. Can't wait to get there next week and see what these guys have in store for us there.
Catch that all here on iRacing social media platforms and Maconi Entertainment. But on that note, it's time to say goodbye for tonight's racing action here from iRacing's virtual Dover Motor Speedway. I'd like to thank you for watching tonight's racing action, as well as our race sponsor, Maconi Setup Shop, for their support in this series. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, Shane Mundy in the booth, Dylan Rempel producing. To those watching once again for watching tonight's racing action, I hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to the entire staff for bringing this racing to you tonight. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you tomorrow night. We go road to pro racing for the Monster Mile to see which drivers get collected by miles on the way.